let's go, into our rapid fire round, some spontaneous answers to these questions coming from you. And so let's go with the first one. 2021, doom or boom?
Boomish.
Sounds good. A turnaround story that has most inspired you?
I know this is going to be self-serving, but I now have witnessed one of the greatest ones, which is our own. And, being a part of this amazing team during this pandemic, despite the devastation to the lives and livelihoods of so many, including many of our own, making the impossible possible at Virgin Atlantic has got to be, I think it's when we have time and perspective, more time and more perspective, I think we will see that our people did something quite amazing. So I've got to say it's our own.
Fantastic. No, you have every right to feel so proud of your people and your company. Well, the one business perspective that COVID has changed for you?
Our financial performance has not been good enough. And I accepted it. We accepted it as the norm. And I liken it to, my message to the team is very much travel related. I say 2020 has been, like I said, a crisis like no other, a response like no other, and devastation like no other than the Second World War. So it's the biggest devastation we've seen. But we've done a lot of things differently, including stuff that we've done with WNS and automation and robotics in record time. For the future, only carry on is allowed. Leave behind many of the things that you thought were so important to all of us. They are important, but they are part of the past. So only the essentials, so we remain nimble, agile, and focused. The hold is for cargo. So you can only really be very specific with what you have with you.
Great. So what has kept you motivated personally throughout this crisis?
Going into this, for us, it started already in the 1st of February is when we suspended our flying to Shanghai, just to give you the perspective that we've had. Of course, airlines would be at the forefront of this. I asked myself, this is going to take everything I've got, everything we've got as a company and as an individuals. What motivates you and is essential to understand? And I must say, I put to one side ego and I put to one side money and figured that the thing that would keep me motivated, and despite setbacks, and there were tremendous setbacks throughout the last few months, including, of course, the loss of jobs. It is the knowledge that we just celebrated 36 years of Virgin Atlantic, and there are still many jobs to protect. So it was all about understanding that this company deserves to be around for the next 36 years and beyond, and that every job is worth fighting for. That is the only thing that matters to me. The rest will take care of itself.
Your inherent personality, risk taker or steady cruiser?
Absolute risk taker.
I guess that one. Take your pick to be the most loved travel company or the most profitable airline.
Keshav, that's a choice which is very hard to make. But I think given the fact that I don't think, the assets that we have, we've got to also recognize what we are. We are not going to be the most profitable airline. We will be profitable and very well performing, but we can, and our right to win comes from being the most loved. So I've got to choose most loved.
Brilliant answer. Well, Arsenal or Chelsea, whose jersey would you like to wear?
Well, you know the answer to that. And in my office, there is a very nice signed jersey with Bergkamp. So clearly Arsenal, despite the fact that I live very close to the Chelsea Stadium and I schlepped to North London underground. And my wife always tells me, why do you continue supporting Arsenal when Chelsea is doing so much better? And we all know the answer to that. It is impossible to just swap a team because they're not doing very well. So Arsenal it is.
Just don't wear the wrong jersey to the other club.
That's right, yes. Or in the neighborhood for that matter.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Shai. That was a wonderful conversation and some really fantastic perspectives from you. And I think time really stood still. Well, Shai actually lives by the three tenets he preaches: take risks, be useful, and be curious. They symbolize the leader who is willing to push boundaries and create turning points rather than reacting to them. Crisis or not, under Shai's stewardship, Virgin Atlantic has been a torchbearer of customer first innovation, not just flying the chartered routes, but actually charting newer ones. Well, I hope you enjoyed the story brought to you in this edition of Turning Point. Stay safe, stay healthy until we meet again next time. The airline industry may be one of the worst hit by COVID-19, but Shai has made optimism sound very real in soaring higher than the crisis. It is exemplified in one of his recent quotes: when our customers return.
Thank you, Keshav. What a pleasure.